Hello, welcome to the stream. Um, I wish it was in better circumstances. I wish this was a 5-1 win, but no, it's a 5-1 loss. The worst loss of the season. It's worse than Tottenham 4-0 at the Etihad, to be honest. Um, it's just horrific, to be honest with you. You know, from the get go, the tone was set, making the error. Look, I don't know what we expected Arsenal to be like today, but I don't feel like we were ready for a high press. It didn't feel like we didn't look like we were expecting a high press from Arsenal today. We didn't look like we were ready for it or anything like that. I've like if there's one thing Arsenal do, it's high press. They do high press a lot. To their fault or not, don't matter because it worked today when it needed to. They absolutely thrashed us today, Arsenal. It was a top performance from them. Look, the first half we stayed in it really well. I say really well. We stayed in it and didn't make too many faux pas in the first half. Started off really bad. They probably should have had two before we had one. They had a huge opportunity, but there was a period of time in the second half in the first half when we managed to get back in it a little bit. We weren't creating clear cut chances, but we were creating little bits and showing a little bit of intent that we weren't going to take it sitting down. And then the second half, it gets to half time, it's 1-0 Arsenal. Couldn't make anything, I'm afraid. Second half comes around. Starts in a similar manner. We started off very similar. And 55th minute, we get ourselves a goal. A big goal. It's the equaliser with plenty of time to go and find a couple more, maybe. And that's exactly what happened for Arsenal. Arsenal went on to use that time in the most effective way possible by absolutely battering us. I don't know how many seconds passed between Haaland's header and Partey's shot, but it was no more than a minute because they are a minute apart, roughly. It's just incredible. I'll get into the worst thing of this performance. And then Partey scores in the 56th minute, so it's 2-1 now to Arsenal. The game's not done yet, though. There's still time. Look, it's basically back to square one. It's like if it was 2-1 at half time, all right? We have time to go get another goal. Except what do we do 6 minutes later, sorry. We let Lewis Skelly dribble into our box and score the shot wasn't great. No one has joined the stream. They're still in disbelief. It doesn't surprise me. But look, Lewis Skelly, we let him dribble into our box and then he puts it bottom corner. Well, not bottom corner. It was going bottom corner. Ortega should do better. He gets a hand on it and then it goes off the bar and in the top corner. And then he goes and does the Meditate celebration on us. About 15 minutes after that, Arsenal, they're playing their game. And what happens? Do you think Chelsea will beat West Ham? I hope you don't. I really hope you don't. I'm going to say no, you won't, just because I don't want you to. I don't really know how good Graham Potter's been doing, is the honest answer. I mean, last 5 games, 3 losses, 1 win, 1 draw. Yeah, but we'll see, won't we? 15 minutes after Lewis Skelly pots in the back of the net, Kai Havertz scores on us and really finishes off and to bring us to new lows this season. Ethan Nwaneri goes and gets a goal in the 93rd minute just to really put the salt in the wound. It was an absolutely terrible game for City to take. Heads definitely went at a certain point. I think the heads were officially gone after Lewis Skelly's goal. I think maybe after Partey's goal, I think head start to go, but then I think after there were Skellies, I think they were just gone. I think we completely lost it. Despite getting on the ball a couple of times, we just completely lost all composure. That is the word. Yeah, all composure is just lost from us in that second half. After the Skelly's goal, didn't really create anything. Subs took a while to come on too. I would have made them sooner. I would have made subs at half time, to be honest with you. I'm not going to lie. I think subs at half time were necessary. But they weren't made. They got made in the 70th minute. De Bruyne and McAtee on. Anyway, let's jump into the player ratings now. Ortega, 4. First half wasn't awful. I don't blame you for the goal we conceded. That's all the Kanji, essentially. But Ortega, I give you a 4. You weren't bad. No, sorry, you were bad. Sorry. You weren't bad in that first half, but the second half comes around. Just trying to think of all the goals now. First goal was unlucky. Deflected shot. Your ratings are quite high. I disagree. Ortega, though, 4. Just a couple shots that he needs to do better on. We rate Ortega a lot for his shot stopping. That's often what is given to him better than Edison. Better at shot stopping. For 5-1 loss they are. Now, but it's the reality of it. I think this came down to very individual bozos, really. And I'll get into it. Yeah, but Ortega 4. It just wasn't good for him. Didn't make many saves throughout the game. Let's see how many shots Arsenal had on target. They had 7 shots on target today, Arsenal, which means he saved 2 of them. So, it's a lot of shots. I know the quality of shots and all that can be brought into question. Akanji, worst player on the pitch? No, he wasn't. Ortega and Foden were. Then it's Akanji and Nunez. Then it's Vardio and Bernardo. Then it's Bernardo and Kova. Then it's Vardio. And then I'll get into why certain players have gotten just over a 6. John Stones. No, Nunez, 4.5. Look, when you stick a midfielder at right back, it's only going to work for so long. And when you play a top side, they will capitalise on that. And they 100% capitalised on it. Nunez made so many mistakes on the ball specifically. Nothing really went his way. It was just really a hard watch, to be honest, for Matheus Nunes. So many things he tried to do, nothing went right. Crosses into the box, didn't really hit anyone. Passes he made weren't really going well. Defensively, he's always been a bit suspect because it's not really his main area, to be honest, with Matheus Nunes. It makes me feel a little bit... I've always felt a little bit bad for Nunes, the fact that he's playing at right back when he shouldn't be. I give him a little bit of sympathy, but I still have to look at him. LB, it's a Man City YouTuber, he says if a right back makes a mistake at right back, we can go in at him because he's a right back that fails to do his job. Is what I'll say. Nunes going at right back. A right back failing at right back, which should be criticised because he's failing to do his job. Should have been sacked at Feyenoord. Nah, I think Pep's protected this season, and I'm absolutely fine with it. I think game management in that game wasn't great. But this is a matter of poor tactics because we were tactically outdone today. But at the same time, the players' heads went, and individually, certain players were just awful. Bro, the Pep getting sacked thing is embarrassing. No, Pep is fine. I don't know why Pep being sacked is the solution when you look at the players we have on the pitch. Arsenal is Arsenal are so much better than us in most areas of the field, and Arteta did outdo Pep today. We have to own that. And I'll get into what's been the biggest weakness of this team all season. If you just give me a minute. John Stones, give me a 6. I think he was the only one on the defence who was even close to being competent today. I think John Stones was actually solid today. I liked his interview. A big up 7 tuning in, by the way. We've got 10 people in here. So 11 games lost is a bit too much. Yeah, it's a lot, and yeah, it's a lot more than we don't want. But one off season and you've had enough? One off season? Winning 4 Premier League titles in a row, and the moment one season doesn't go our way, and doesn't go our way by quite a long shot. Don't get me wrong, I know your frustrations. Doesn't go our way by a long shot, and the solution is sack Pep. It just doesn't. That doesn't line up for me. That's not good. That's not good logic. I don't see how that is the immediate solution, to be honest. Big up several tuning in. I do appreciate it, but no, I don't think sacking Pep is what we should be looking at. Connect. True. Hopefully, we figure some things out before Madrid. We should prioritise Champions League 100%. League is over. League is definitely gone. Big ups to Glimpse for liking. And big ups to everyone tuning in. Yeah, League is definitely gone. Top 4, we got to try get. We've got to do an absolute best. Look, we're very lucky that Bournemouth and Newcastle and Villa all dropped points this game week. And we'll be even luckier if Chelsea drop points too. We'll be so lucky to get away with that. Connect. How bad would Pep have to be doing to sack him? I think it all depends on next season. There's got to be noticeable change next season for me. Akanji 4.5. Look, this guy was signed as 5th choice centre back today. No, this guy was signed in the treble season as 5th choice centre back, and today he played like 5th choice centre back. He played like a defender that could make mistakes, and that was the weakest defender in the side. I feel bad for Nunes, okay, for playing at defence and making errors because it's not his role, okay. But I don't feel bad for Akanji because he's not because he's a defender that is making these mistakes. He played like what he was worth today, 15 mil. At the time, it looked like a bargain, and to be fair, it still does now. And maybe once we have a top back line again, maybe we can look at him a bit differently. But as a starting week in, week out centre back, it just don't look like it's a match. Why aren't we buying a midfielder and buy 2 centre backs? We aren't even playing yet. Look, I actually don't care anymore. Next week, if I see look, I don't doubt that Hayes and Kusanov might get game time against Leyton Orient. So next week against Newcastle, I think we play. If I see Akanji start over Kusanov and Hayes, I will. I don't even know anymore. Like, what's going to happen? It can't be worse. Glimpse, it's embarrassing that our fan base is so obsessed with blaming everyone except the manager who said this season your pass achievements aren't enough. So what, you think 4 Premier Leagues in a row should just be written off? You think like some of the performances today should just be written off? Nah, performances today were bad, from the squad. And don't get me wrong, Pep got it wrong. Pep got it wrong. If I had Pep on here, he would get way below a 6 in terms of his rating. Don't get me wrong. I'm not happy with Pep today, and much as I haven't been for most of this season. But the fact is that the first solution we think of is sack Pep. You know, we don't think that maybe let him refresh that midfield, who are midfielders all over 30 that can't run, that can't do the same running they could do 5 years ago. You know, the fact that that is the first solution. Okay, look, he made a mistake not doing the rebuild in the summer. We get it. All right. I get it, especially. Trust me, I was crying out for a midfielder, and we got Ilkay Gundogan who's 33. And that's why I'm absolutely begging that we get Nico Gonzalez. If we're going off form, Pep's doing a good job. Look, the situation right now is horrid. You know, the alter-changing back line throughout the whole season has been disastrous. He hasn't had the best midfielder in the world. The fact that we turn to sacking Pep as a fan base, as certain members in the fan base first, is ridiculous. Don't get me wrong, if it's this season, if it was next season and we're in a similar position and we are doing these awful things, have that conversation. I'll gladly have it with you. All right? I don't know what I'd even say, okay? But I'll gladly have that conversation with you. All right, but sacking Pep is not the way to go. Not as our first solution. Not when we've not signed a midfielder yet. You know? Akanji is a clown. End the season now. Welcome to the chat. Akanji is a clown. It's Lewis MCFC. All right, big ups. Every time they build you up, they knock you straight back down. Yeah, look, I appreciate everyone that's tuning in, by the way, I really do. But look, honestly, Sal Nunes, Akanji, next season, if Akanji's staying, he's got to go back to being our fifth choice. We should have prioritised buying a midfielder since Stratford. This comment, you know. Glimpse is holding 5 to Arsenal doing a good job. No, of course it's not. Of course it's not. You know? Of course, holding 5 to Arsenal is not a good job. Okay, but if we're looking at individual games, then it just means, look, don't get me wrong, frustrated. This was an annoying game to take. I can't even believe it got this bad. Yeah, that is a good question. That is a good question. Big ups to the comment, Rowan. I'm going to speak about that in a minute. But yeah, who do you personally bring in? Yeah, don't get me wrong. If you're on Team Sack Pep, by the way, if you're on Team Sack Pep, which looks like Alf might be, I don't know if he's. Look, if you want to sack Pep, then that's your opinion, and I can't. And I can't tell you you're wrong because you're entitled to it. Yeah, MCFR is absolutely right there. I would just like to say that. But the problem is deeper than the manager. There are two big issues. Okay? In fact, there's not two big issues. There's issues everywhere. You think Vincent Kompany You think Vincent Kompany? I hope it's a joke. In no offense. But no, it's on these players. Tiki's had the 6 failed transfer windows in a row. Then we got to sign Nico Gonzalez, man, or bring in a midfielder, bring in someone that can actually run. It's a joke. Okay, thank you, and thank you, Isaac. I appreciate it. I love Pep. He's the best manager in the history of tactically. But if this continues, maybe it's time to move on. Again, this time next season, if it's still looking like this, and God forbid, potentially worse, absolutely, let's have that conversation. But right now, I don't entertain Pep out. Well, I mean, it's not like I don't entertain it. It's I completely disagree with it. Back to the player ratings. Vardio 5.5. I wasn't very impressed. He had that good header, I guess, near the beginning. You had one objective. Yeah, Pep's got credit in the bank, FYI. Pep has got credit in the bank. When Klopp was 10th in the league with Liverpool, okay, so sure, certain members of the Liverpool fan base would Klopp out, okay, but he had enough credit to turn it around. Bought him. Zidane won't take that job, Alf. Let's be honest. He's been waiting for the French job for a while, and he's gonna get it after the 2026 World Cup. I just don't understand how we can lose so much without Rodri as one of the best teams in the world. It's deeper than Rodri. It's deeper than Rodri, and you know what? A part of me is glad that Rodri got injured now. Not for him. Not for that came out a little bit wrong. A part of me is glad that we've been without Rodri now. A part of me is glad about that. Because we've seen that this issue is so much deeper than Rodri. I think Rodri's doing a miracle job. It was only a matter of time before Rodri picked up an injury like that. We mentioned that in the summer. But I think losing Rodri has made the situation so much clearer. It's made the need for a clear out so much bigger. Even last season, let's say when defenders got injured, for example, we still had someone like Rodri who played the entire season, who would still play like a defender and could play basically anywhere and fulfill all those roles. But now that Rodri's gone, that defence doesn't have such a good protection, and the injuries we pick up are now being seen, and the club has no choice but to act upon it. He's still in the Champions League, FA Cup, 4th in the Prem. Is that sackable, really? I mean, seriously, come on. I know Rodri's not the only problem, but our whole game crumbles without him. Just check the stuff. Yeah, last season as well, it was bad. 200 million in January and lost 5-1 to Arsenal, yeah. I'd like to bear in mind only one of those players that we spent 200 million on are in the squad today. It's because you don't have Calvin Phillips. Seriously, imagine telling someone we wouldn't sign a midfielder Jan 1st. We were crying out for a midfielder in the summer, and we got Rodri. Into the pivot, Kovacic and Bernardo. Look, this is where this is the biggest problem for me. It's one of our many issues this season. The pivot, it can't do it. They can't do it. 31-year-old Kovacic and however old Bernardo is, they can't do it. They haven't got those legs. How old's Declan Rice? Let me search that up. Declan Rice. 26, prime of his life. Odegaard. 26, prime of his life. Havertz. 25, going into his prime. Partey, don't get me wrong, he's not in his prime, but even so, he's 31. He's kind of invalid, to be honest. Trossard is 30. And look, Bernardo and some of our midfielders are still balling at 30. Man, the fact that he's 30 is kind of crazy. I don't feel like he looks it. Bernardo and Kova, for me, it just can't work anymore. If we don't get Nico Gonzalez tomorrow, I don't know what we'll do. The biggest issue in this club, one of the biggest issues, is the board not signing the midfielder. We need that midfielder so badly. Partyface made me want to smash my screen. We're only 4th points, to be fair, because of the easiest fixture run of all time. End of February, we will be 8th or below. It's the player, but it's the players for me 100,000%. Big up to everyone tuning in, by the way. We've got a lot of people in the chat. The stream's gotten over 100 views so far, so I do appreciate that. Connect. Imagine telling someone we wouldn't sign a midfielder Jan 1st. It should have been the priority. Don't get me wrong. I like the signing of Kusanov. I like the signing of Marmouche. And I like the signing of Vital Hayes. I like all three of them. But they shouldn't have been priorities. Don't get me wrong. Sign Nico Gonzalez at the beginning. Okay, then you don't. And if we sign Nico Gonzalez at the beginning of the window, by the way, maybe we could have actually avoided the release clause. But there's no way we're not going to have to pay the release clause now. Bernardo's class, so he's not doing good this season. Hope we don't sell it. I want Gundo out, says Rowan. Is there still hope for Nico? Nico Riley, well, he could be on his way to Chelsea, so don't get your hopes up. Rowan, this board don't want to pay us an extra 10 million. They're negotiating over 10 million. Wild. A club like us as well, man. Like, we've got no problem on our revenues and everything like that. Just make the deal. You can do it. We know you can. You're just trying to save every penny you can. Do you get a bonus for that or something? I don't know. We're treating Porto like Bournemouth or something. No, they're a big European team. They're in a title race right now. Makes sense why they wouldn't want to lose their midfielders. So one run of form, Alf, is enough to get Pep sacked for you? One bad run of form and I mean really bad, okay? One really bad run of form is enough to get rid of the manager of 7 years. Nine seasons. I don't think Pep's the biggest issue here. Don't get me wrong, if we have a rebuild in the summer and all that, and I think, and all the players almost gets like sorted, if we, in the summer, if we do the big, it's not his only bad run, no, but a run of form this bad, I mean, Alf. This is his worst run of form in his whole managerial career. My standards are simple. One bad season. Yeah, it's one bad season, guys. Okay, first season's the settling in season. If you're really going to go in for that, then I don't even know what I want to tell you. All right, the next 2 seasons were essentially stellar apart from European play. Okay, 19-20 season. An off season, but look, we won a trophy. We still came second, and we were still one of the best teams in the league. For the next 4 seasons, we won the Premier League. Next 4 seasons, we won the Prem. And now he goes on a really bad run of form, and it's time to go. I don't get it. I mean, I don't know why we don't try that out at this point, Marcus, to go over it. Talk to the chat. I don't know why we don't put Rico Lewis there at this point. Yeah, but Alf, that is one bad season, though. It's a really bad season. A really bad season that we're still 4th in the league. It's a really bad season, don't get me wrong. Yeah, but it is one bad season. Average attacks tear us apart. I don't even want to think about Real Madrid, to be honest with you. Let me think about Leyton Orient. Phil Foden, probably his worst game of the season. Everything he tried to do didn't go his way. The best thing he did was pass the ball to Savinho, which led into a cross to Haaland, which he knocked in to the back of the net. Phil Foden, easily his worst game of the season. I can't defend him today. It was just a hard watch for him. Everything just didn't go well. Assisted Partey for his goal. Passes, touches, it just wasn't going good. It was such a bad game for Phil. I can't describe it. Marmoush 6. I just thought when he was on, I don't think he did bad. Really only affected the first half. Fell off like everyone else in the second half, to be honest. But if there's one thing we can take from Marmoush, it's that his corners we got to see more of. Akanji's bad. Don't like him. Don't like the players who give 20% effort on 100k a week. If we win Madrid, then the reason won't be over. All my hope is going towards us winning Madrid somehow. Season won't be over. Okay. There's so much on the line. Let's just see how it goes. Phil Foden nowhere near the level of KDB, and 24-year-old KDB would not let this happen. Look, again, just like for the rest of the squad, I just want this to be an off season for the whole team. Okay, that doesn't mean they're all protected in the summer. Some of these are on the way in the summer. I'll drive them down myself if I had a car, and if I had a license. But yeah, some of these players are not here in the summer. I want a clear out of sorts. That doesn't mean I want Phil Foden gone, but a lot of these talent need to go. Savinho 6, Foyzy probably our best attacker, decent assist. Looks like he wanted to create issues, but like most of our players didn't really sink through today. And yeah, fair play Savinho for getting a 6. I feel a bit bad for you for this game. It was a difficult one. I'm sorry, but who else thinks Akanji isn't trying? Bro, watch the highlights from the Chelsea match. You can see how much more Kusano fought to Akanji. My big criticism of Pep is you can see we're getting destroyed. Can you not just let us lose by a respectable scoreline? Something needed to change that game, and it didn't change soon enough. Whether you bring on an extra defender just to try and take it. Just try and take it at that point, 3-1, we're not getting back into the game, the heads have gone. May bring on an extra defender, or may bring on a competent defender to just try to lock it down at that point, 5-1. Arsenal fans will sing about that next year. It's a tough one to take. Haaland 6.5. Look, Sky have been going at him for not moving enough, not running a lot, not getting enough touches on the ball. I say that's what Haaland's always been. Look back at treble season. He had games where he got like 14 touches on the ball and he still get a brace. Haaland not getting Haaland not getting any service for most. Look, he scored the one chance he had. We're going to. It's all right, Isaac. I get what you're saying. We have to give Maka more playing time considering how bad our midfield is doing. Look, I want Nico Riley in this midfield for a while, but look, it's like we don't even think Nico Riley's in the club. He might as well be at Chelsea at this point. But Haaland 6.5, took the one chance he got. Can't really say it otherwise for me, He's a decent player, Haaland. He's a very good player, but if we don't feed him, he's not going to eat, is he? Bench 6 for the two of them. Felt bad that they got subbed on into that. Subs came way too late. I think subs should have been made at half time off the back of the first half. Make sure. Hey, Tiki better be talking with Nico Gonzalez right now. I mean, there's no issue on the personal terms, to be fair, but for me, you better be talking to Porto right now. And look, if it's 10 million, just give them it. It's deadline day. You've not exactly left yourself with wiggle room. Porto can just be like, hey, it's you who needs a midfielder, not us. We've just gone and signed one ourselves. So either drop the 60 million on the floor, or you don't get a midfielder and your season still keeps going the way it is. Or you bring in Nico Gonzalez and you better hope he saves your sinking ship. That's what I'd be like if I'm Porto. Like, Tiki's got no power in this. You know? He's got no power in this. Arsenal have made me achieve something I thought was impossible. Supporting Liverpool for the rest of the season. Well, not supporting them, but you get it. Cheering them on to win the league. Look, just keep Arsenal's hand off that title. If Liverpool bottle this, I don't even know. Gabriel's a disgraceful player. I hope they don't win anything. Oh. Look, man of the match. No one, as you can tell, I'm giving man of the match any of this lot. Look, this has been a tough pill to take. Tomorrow I'm doing deadline day streams, 2 or 3, not sure yet, but definitely at least 2. If we don't bring in Nico Gonzalez, I'll be fuming, but that remains to be seen. Can't be fuming unless it doesn't happen. So, look, thank you all for tuning in. I get this has been a fiery stream. Sleep on it. Let's wake up better tomorrow and we can talk again about it. You know, it's a tough one to take. We haven't lost like this in a while. So I do appreciate everyone's support despite the fieriness in the chat. I don't know if Alpha Vark is still watching, but big ups to you, lad. You know, each to their own in terms of Pep and his position in the club. For me, I'm still willing to give him plenty of time, but I completely understand everyone's frustrations with him. I'm not frustrated with him, by the way. He's not getting a free pass, but I think he deserves time to amend it and be given all the stuff he needs. By the way, Rowan, I just want to say, I don't think I've seen you in this chat before. I'm going to check, but you've been really good at either way. You've been adding a lot to the chat, so I really do appreciate that. So, big ups to you for tuning in, and I hope. Hey, you don't have to. Wake me up when it's May. Yeah, if only. I hope to see you on future streams, Rowan, because I think you really added stuff to the chat today. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in. Look, if there's one positive I can take from this, is that the stream's gone over 150 views. So, you know, that's always nice. Big ups to you all. We take this on the chin, I suppose, as well as you can, even if it leaves some of your teeth broken. I'll see you all in the next one.